What's up guys, welcome back again to your Heroclix headquarters. Today we're going to be unboxing this awesome new Avengers Fantastic Four Empyre starter set. So without further ado, let's get to it. Alright, and here we go, this beautiful box. First of all, again, just like the Wonder Woman set, this has a much nicer, bigger box. And you can definitely use it to store the whole thing in if you want to. Here's just a quick look at the back. You can see all the characters it comes with, some cool dice too. So, alright, let's cut off this plastic and take a look. Alright, so here we go. Cut all the plastic off so you can see it just pop off the top like that. And here is everything inside, all the awesome figures right here. Of course, we got our little silicone packet or whatever. Throw that away carefully. And here's these cool dice. I really like these dice. They got that awesome Avengers Fantastic Four logo. And that is on the 6. It's not a 4 like the Fantastic Four dice were. Alright, so then let's take a look over here. What do we got here? We got all the cards. We got all of the campaign cards and rules. And we got a brand new color rule book for Marvel Empyre. Now if you guys weren't a fan of the Wonder Woman starter set or the Wonder Woman characters or DC characters in general, then I would definitely consider getting this starter set because it's got a lot of really cool Marvel characters. It's got like Magneto and some X-Men and Fantastic Four and all kinds of cool stuff. So much more good choices if you're more of a Marvel fan, right? So if you're like me, I am more of a Marvel fan, so I'm definitely liking this starter set more than the Wonder Woman starter set just because of the choice of characters. But here you can see we got all of our character cards, so we'll take a look at all of those in a second. Ooh, and again, just like the Wonder Woman starter set, we got 2 powers and abilities cards here, so you can share with a friend. You can both use one while you're learning the rules and playing together, or you know, if you're a guy that's been playing a long time like me, then you can keep one for yourself and give one to a friend that maybe wasn't lucky enough to get their hands on a starter set like this. And again, we've got a ton of action tokens, we've got light objects, some bigger light objects, which looks like, yeah, these are some type of, oops, I'm popping out action tokens everywhere. These are some type of special objects and equipment you can use for the scenario campaign. And then you got the heavy objects on this side. And I'm going to try to carefully put that over there so I stop popping these things out everywhere. And then there's some cool bystanders, some Hydra and some Skrulls there. Whoa, there's a Mystique on this side. Some, what is that? Kotati plant people. That's pretty cool. Just like from the actual Empyre comic book. It looks like we just got doubles of those. And then we've got some cool debris markers, some cool smoke cloud markers, some special markers, some barrier markers. Good stuff. And then here is a look at all of the scenario campaign rules. Wow, lots of cards there. Pretty decent length scenario. I think all of them take about 4 or 5 games to finish. And they change, you know, depending on who wins what. So like, if the hero wins, then you do this, or if the villain wins, then you do this. And on this side, of course, it just lists basically everything that's going on in the campaign. So, pretty cool stuff. And then here we have a look at the map. Let's take that out. And I'll cut the plastic off of this, 1 second. Alright, and here we go. Here's a look at the map. You know, I don't even think I've seen the map yet. And it's funny because I watched the other unboxing videos for this set, but I'm not 100% sure which map this is, but it looks pretty cool. It's New York Outdoor. Now, if it's anything like the Wonder Woman set, then it's a map that we've had in the past. They've kind of brought back for this. And then there's another indoor map. Oh yeah, that's right. I think the indoor map was Pym's Lab, I believe. Yeah, Baxter Building. Oh no, it's the Baxter Building Sentinel HQ Indoor. So it looks like there's lots of walls in that one, lots of moving. A nice indoor lab or an outdoor, like, destroyed New York. That's pretty awesome. Really good map there. I do like those types of maps. And these map tiles, again, they're, you know, really thick and sturdy and really good high quality map there. Alright, so now time for the best part. Let's take a look at what all these awesome figures can do. I took them all out the plastic for you. So let's start with number 1, Spider-Man. I do love this Fantastic Four look for Spider-Man. Pretty awesome. Pretty cool pose there too. Good sculpt. Do like that a lot. So all of these figures, the best part about all of these newer starter sets they've been coming out with is all of these figures have 2 different dials entirely on them. So as opposed to just 2 different starting lines, it's like just almost 2 entirely different characters you could use. Now, so it's one that's kind of, you know, toned down, easier to understand for beginners, and then another one that's similar to that, but has some more special powers and some cool stuff. So it's something you'd want to actually use once you got used to playing the game. So in Spider-Man's case, here's a look at the normal card. And then there's a look at his dial on the back. Pretty basic, just some charge, super senses. You know, pretty basic Spider-Man. He's got Spider-Man team ability as well. Only 25 points though for that, with an 11 attack for 3 damage is honestly not bad at all. And then for 40 points, you can upgrade to this Spider-Man, who's got a cool special attack power that gives him some incapacitate, and he's got similar stats and powers there, charge, super senses and everything, but just an upgraded version. So I do like this Spider-Man. I think I actually like this Spider-Man in the starter set better than the main set version, because that one's like 65 points, and it's pretty much the same thing. It only has like running shot incapacitate instead, but you know, that one's not horrible either, but I think I prefer this one just because it's cheaper point cost. Next up we have Wolverine, and I gotta say, I do love this Wolverine sculpt as well. This one is also the same sculpt as the main set, but the main set version has the full blue and black costume. This one's like a yellow and blue, kind of more like his normal costume. So this one's pretty cool. I actually do like this Wolverine a lot. The basic version is only 35 points. And, you know, he's just got some blades, some toughness, click a regen there at the end, and, you know, can't really ask for too much for 35 points. But then once you've gotten used to that dial, you get this one that actually has a stop click at the end. And, you know, for 45 points, I think this is a huge upgrade. He gets some charge for some move and attack. He actually gets a stop click with the regen. And yeah, I actually like the 45-point version of Wolverine a lot. And the funny thing about that is there was a 45-point version of Wolverine in the last set, which is X-Men Rise and Fall, and these are actually very similar, but I think I prefer this one a little bit more to that one just because this one has a stop click. You know, just having that stop click to rely on can really change the game. Up next is Captain Marvel. Again, same sculpt as in the main set, but different dials. That's pretty much how they always do it, just a same sculpt, but different dials for starter set figures. Sometimes different paint jobs, like in the case of Wolverine there. So for Captain Marvel here, she just starts out with some pretty basic running shot and some invulnerability there. And, you know, 50 points doesn't really get you too much. I'll admit, I've seen better 50-point characters, but she also has a 60-point line, which I would definitely try out. She still has running shot, but she gains penetrating blast, and I do love penetrating blast as a power. It's really great. And then she has some energy shield deflection to go with her invulnerability, so some more damage potential and some more survivability for extra 10 points. I'll definitely go with that every time. Next up we have Rogue. Looks great. I do love this sculpt for Rogue. It's nice and, you know, just basic. She's just kind of standing there, but just looks really high quality. I don't know. I like this one a lot more than the last few that we've had. And so, again, she just starts out a basic 40 points. She just has charge, toughness. She gets some steel energy there to keep herself alive at the end of her dial. And then if you upgrade her to the 50-point line, she starts with a cool special outwit power, but she can only use it on a character she's already targeted with an attack this turn. Kind of to, you know, steal their power, right? Take it away, outwit it. And again, she gets some flurry and steel energy there at the back of her dial to keep her alive even more. And she starts with invulnerability instead of toughness, which I do like. Gives her some more survivability. But next up we have Invisible Woman. And Invisible Woman for me is actually one of the main reasons I would suggest getting this starter set. Because she is great by herself. So for the basic version, she's 40 points. And she just gets you some defend and some enhancement, which, you know, 40 points, it's not too bad. Although I do like some of the other 40-point versions of her we got recently in the other Fantastic Four sets. I just think those were a little bit better. But for the 50-point line, you get something really special. She's got this amazing special defense power that gives you defend and barrier, and friendly characters adjacent to her barrier markers can replace their defense value with her printed defense value. So basically she can use defend even through her barrier, and she starts with a whopping 19 defense with that defend power, and some stealth and everything, some TK. So for 50 points, she's doing a lot for your team. She could keep them all defended up to a 19, which is just really great. I think for 50 points, having that barrier, TK, and defending your whole team to a 19 defense is just definitely worth it. 100%. I would play that Invisible Woman all the time. Next up is her brother, Human Torch, and I gotta say, this is one of the best sculpts in the whole set. And, you know, he's only in the starter set, and I think in the main set he's a common, maybe an uncommon. I think he's just a common figure as well. But, I mean, such a great sculpt for just such a common figure. I can't believe it. You know, that would have been easily a super rare a few years ago. And just like everybody else, he's got his basic starting line here. For 40 points, he starts with just some energy explosion and energy shield deflection. So nothing too crazy there, pretty basic stuff. But I do like his advanced starting line for 50 points. He's got that special attack power that's energy explosion and deals 3 damage instead of 2 damage. So potentially huge damage from energy explosion there. And he gets some running shot to pair with that as well. So for 50 points, again, I really like this Human Torch, and I would actually play him quite a bit. Up next is quite possibly my favorite figure of the entire starter set, though, and that is this Taskmaster. First of all, beautiful sculpt, 10 out of 10. Probably the best Taskmaster sculpt in the game, hands down, in my opinion. And he's only a rare in the main set as well, so just to point that out, say they've got some amazing sculpts in this set. And I love the fact that they put them in the starter set as well as making them still kind of lower rarities in the main set. But take a look at what he can do. His basic version here just gives you some sidestep and some energy shield deflection with decent stats, 11 attack and everything. So also a team player, team ability, makes them a wild card so we can copy other team abilities. Pretty cool. But the real star of the show is this advanced style that has this amazing special attack power that gives him Blades, Claws, Fangs, Energy Explosion, and Incapacitate, as well as giving him a +3 attack anytime he attacks one or more characters that can use a special power. And a special power would, of course, be any white square anywhere on their dial. So that's just so good. For 45 points, this guy is easily rocking a 14 attack value. And I would love it if they gave him running shot. I can understand why they only gave him sidestep to kind of slow him down a little, because he would be a monster. Find us some equipment or something to give this guy running shot, and he will definitely clean house for 45 points. Up next, we have Magneto. And I gotta give props once again to this amazing sculpt. One of my favorite Magneto sculpts that we've had in a while. It just looks really epic to me, just flying through the air like that. Looks awesome. And now for 40 points, again, nothing special. The basic dial just gets you some telekinesis and energy shield deflection to start out with. So it just gives you a cheap TK option. But for the 50-point option, you get Running Shot and a cool special defense power that gives him invulnerability and energy shield deflection. So definitely, if you're going to play this Magneto, I would play him at 50 every time. You know, that extra 10 points is well worth it for the Running Shot and the invulnerability. Definitely 100% better over the 40-point line. But anyway, moving on, next we have Madam Hydra. So there she is. She looks pretty cool too. So here's her basic version for only 35 points. She just gets you some poison and super senses. Again, nothing crazy, but she does also have the Hydra team ability, so that can potentially help out your ranged attackers by lowering the defense of other characters she can see. And the upgraded 45-point version gives her a special poison that if she KOs a character with it, you can remove all of her action tokens, which is pretty neat. A little hard to pull off, though, I'll admit. She also gains some stealth to help keep her safe there to start with. Now, in this case, I do prefer the main set version of her. She's a rare in the main set, and I think for around the same amount of points, I just think that one's a little better, because it does a few more cool tricks. But we do have one more, and I actually do really like this guy a lot, and that is the Super Skrull X-Men. He looks pretty cool. I love how he's got, you know, the Wolverine claws, the Colossus skin, the Nightcrawler tail, and the Cyclops eye beams. It's all pretty cool looking. Now for his basic dial, for 40 points, he just has some Penetrating Blast and Toughness. Then you get some Blades, Claws, Fangs, and some regen and phase teleport there at the end, so not too bad for 40 points. He's a decent little attacker, but I do really prefer the upgraded version, which for 60 points is going to get you Charge and Running Shot and Penetrating Blast and Blades, Claws, Fangs, as well as some invulnerability. So I think he gets a major upgrade. I mean, it is like 20 points more than his other starting line, so hopefully it would be a major upgrade. But I definitely think, again, much more use out of the higher point line for him. So that's all the figures. I think most of them are pretty great. You know, I think Madam Hydra is a little meh, and you know, there's a couple of them that are not so great, but like, I'm really loving the Invisible Woman, the Human Torch, the Taskmaster. I like the Wolverine a lot. The Spider-Man's not too bad. The Super Skrull X-Men is really cool too. So yeah, I like all this stuff quite a bit. I think overall I do like it more than the Wonder Woman starter set. Probably just because I'm a Marvel fan. That might be part of the reason, but definitely some really standout dials in here, and I definitely think it's worth picking up. Alright guys, so that's going to do it for this unboxing video. Again, as always, if you enjoyed it, please make sure you smash that like button for me. It does help out a lot. Let me know in the comments all your thoughts and opinions on this starter set. Have you guys picked one up yet? Have you guys played the scenario campaign yet? How did that go? What are your favorite figures in the set? Let me know all of that. I would love to hear about it and talk to you guys about it in the comments. And if you guys haven't already, make sure you click that subscribe button so you don't miss any future videos. And if you guys would like to help support the channel even more, you can check the links in the description for our Patreon, so you can see your name here in the credits, as well as some other cool bonus stuff, so make sure to check that out. And that's going to do it for this episode, so thank you guys again so much for watching, and until next time, this has been Heroclix Headquarters, signing off.